recorded, so I'm going to start the recording now. You'll have access to it if you want it, and these are actually uploaded by our marketing team. So you've been promoted before the event, and it will be continued to be promoted after the event.
Is this in your actual Facebook timeline?
What? No, this is going to come up on the National Association of Sales Professionals page, their business page. So within there, there's an event, but if you go there, that's where the live is going to come through. So have you liked NASP? Oh. And then it'll be dash sales training.
AP dash, I thought I did, but sales training.
Okay, I don't know why. There we go. Something won't move.
Oh.
Live to Facebook. Yeah, something on my computer was not getting out of the way.
Always. There it is.
Let's see, on page you manage, NASP sales training, next. Okay. All right, and then we're going to have a little prompt, what it looks like beforehand. Okay, and title, women.
Oh, let me turn on my phone.
Why can't I find the ampersand? What is it? There it is. All right. All right, and so I want to go live now.
Okay.
Okay, hello everyone. This is Michelle Baker, Women in Sales and Influence, sponsored by the National Association of Sales Professionals. And we're here again with another awesome episode and another amazing woman to share with you some tools, tips, and techniques regarding sales and influence. One of the things that I do here with the National Association of Sales Professionals is really help women bridge the gap so that they can experience more comfortability with their sales, and understanding that embracing the sale is how you become a woman of influence. So Tonya Hofmann is absolutely amazing. I was recommended to meet her years ago, and then interestingly enough, I stepped up to a challenge to do an intriguing talk called an Ignite talk, where you had 5 minutes, 20 slides, and they were on auto forward. So it was one of those challenges like, I don't have control of the slides, and as a speaker, that puts the fear in our heart. So I said yes, because I want to face all fear. Tonya was there supporting another speaker. I finally got to meet her, and it's been fabulous ever since. So Tonya, I'm going to give you the opportunity to introduce yourself, because everyone should be given the opportunity to share how fabulous they are. So tell us about what makes Tonya fabulous, and we'll get this going.
Well, so fabulous. Hello, everyone. I'm Tonya Hofmann, and as fabulous as I am, I have a TV show called The Tonya Hofmann's Fabulous TV Show. So there you go. It proves it right there. I'm the CEO and founder of the Public Speakers Association, and also Your Local City Incorporated, which is starting a new division called the High Achieving Women's Club for corporate and government agencies. I've won lots of awards, yay me, and I've been on 5 magazines. I've got 7 books. I mean, you know, blah, blah, blah. What does that mean? I love connecting with people. That's what it means.
So that's absolutely amazing. And one of the things that I have learned and I share with people is success leaves clues. So having said that, your accolades, what does that mean? That means that you succeeded, and a lot of times, time and time again, so that any information that you share is valuable. You're not just talking in theory or hypothetically. You're actually saying, I've done this repeatedly. You might want to listen.
then fail, right? A lot of times people are like, oh, you achieved so much, but you have to fail a lot to figure out what doesn't work so that you can do the right things to make things work. So yeah.
There you go. I love that. Failing forward, right? And I always tell people it's only failure. Failure is only final if you quit. As long as you keep going, it's not failure. It's just a lesson in what didn't work. It's a lesson in how I can be better. It's a lesson in what needs to be modified, adapted, or adjusted. That's all it is. Because how many people have wild success on the first go round? Every time I ask that question, I hear crickets, right? But we begin to challenge ourselves. Have you ever had that conversation with someone who's struggling and you ask them, well, how many times have you attempted? And they're like 2 or 3, and you're like, really? And you're already out of gas. It's not necessarily the drive. It might be the actual thing that you're going after. So enough about that. Let's talk about speaking, because speaking has become so very popular in recent years. And I know that you, having the conversation with you started this because you wanted to give more people access to be able to speak. So I'd love for you to share a little bit about why you actually started Public Speakers Association.
Oh, thank you. Well, there's so many amazing people out there that have a true message that I'm like, you've got to get out of your own way and share your message with the world so you can change the world. I mean, hello, does the world need some positive movement? And I think it's really going to make a difference when we all start to really get our message out there. But a lot of times we get in our own ways, right? We're like, oh, well, I'm just little Tonya. Why would someone want to listen to me? That's what my head game was. And most people's is something to that effect. Because I hear it from people all the time. Well, I'd love to be a speaker, but I don't think people, why would they want to hear me? And I'm not as good as so-and-so. And I'm like, oh, stop it.
Exactly, right? And I love that you pointed out, and if I'm looking away, I'm actually on my phone sharing that we're live, because this is what we do when, you know, we're in the process of building businesses, and we're going to have assistants doing this for us soon. But right now, we're both sharing it live from our phones. But I love the fact that you actually said we all have a story, that the world needs more positivity. And it's one of your book titles that I loved, and I wrote it down, was Own Your Own Fabulousness. Right? And that goes to that speaking. When you own your own fabulousness, you're not going to be as quick to shy away from sharing the story that can impact so many. So one of the questions or points that you wanted to make was, can anybody be a speaker? Because this is, you know, there's two camps. Some people don't think everyone needs to speak, right? Everyone's story is not valid. So can anyone be a speaker?
Not only can anyone, but everyone should. Right? The more diversity of voices we hear in this world, the more we become unified. If we're always hearing one voice, that's all we're ever going to hear. And so to me, the more that we speak up and challenge what's out there, because that's, you know, I get really ugly emails, and I love them now because I'm pushing somebody's button really hard, you know, because I had to get out of my own way. You know, I wasn't a speaker, and actually I was a huge introvert, and I love showing people the picture of me as an introvert because they can't imagine this being introverted, and so I have to prove it. So this was me. This is me in 2005, Leander Chamber of Commerce. Ladies, this is what I wore to the holiday gala outfit, okay? That's how introverted I was. So if I can get over the shakes and sweating and forgetting what I'm going to say, and if I can get over it, anybody can get over it. And not only that, you should, because you have a message. The other day I was at an event. I won it's back there somewhere, the Texas Black Women's Expo Award. And a gentleman came running up to me. And he's like, she's the reason I changed my life. I'm like, who is this guy? I don't know who he is. And literally in 2013, he met me. I told him he could go out there and change his world, his family's world, and now he's doing it. You don't know who you can change a direction for not only them, but for their whole descendants. So what are you waiting for?
This is absolutely magnificent. One of the statistics that I often share with people and that I've learned in recent years is that even the chance of being born is 1 out of 14 trillion. So we're all born we're all designed to succeed. We're conditioned not to. We're conditioned to be quiet. We're conditioned to second guess, doubt, and fear. And what you're saying is, push past that, get a story out there. And again, like you said, you're not going to be amazing the first time, maybe not, right? And repetition is the mother of skill. So I love that you created this space for people to just get better and better at who they are and how they are service, right? And when you're doing that, you literally will forget, because your only goal is to give of the gift that you are, and you're no longer looking for that outside defining or definition from outside, and you're just giving to the point where it's just replicating. So that's a beautiful share on that. So one of the other things we had talked about was, what can a new speaker actually expect? Because this is everyone's like, speak, but what is the reality of what a new speaker can expect to results in that first year, or that, when they first step out?
Yeah, so I get this like all the time, obviously, because people are like, oh, I went and heard someone speak and they say I could be, paid $10,000 to go speak on stage. I'm like, and who are you, right? So be real, people. You've got to build up your reputation, your visibility. I started realizing that people, when I was coaching people, they could make movement and they could get their presentation down and all of this, but until they got the visibility, it didn't matter. Because event people, you got to remember, most people who are booking the speakers are the HR department of some company or association. It's usually an employee. Mm-hmm. And they don't know you if they haven't seen you speak before, and most of them don't ever go actually watch the speakers. So how do they decide if you're going to be better than this other person? They're going to social media. They're not going to your website. I'm so sorry. I know you love your website, but they are going to social media. Are you crazy? Are you talking about something? They're like, oh, I don't think we should bring that person in. Are you following a bunch of crazies? Oh, look who they're following. I had one guy, I looked on his profile and all the girls were like big boobies and stuff. I'm like, you got to do something about that, right? You've got to look at, well, are you promoting that you're speaking? Are you actually speaking out there? So tell people you're speaking. Where are you going? Who are you connecting to? Are you a mover and a shaker? Are you showing them that you've got stuff going on, that you know something, not just trying to sell and pitch something? Who are you? Social media is the value proposition, because Google pulls it up. Social media, once you get into it, they love you, which then makes Google love you. So when you search your name, everyone should search your name. Just put it in the Google search bar and see how many pages of you. If you don't have at least one, we got a lot to work on. The more the better, because it just gives it more validity that you're someone that everyone wants to watch, everyone wants to hear from. Nice. And it's okay if you're starting at zero. It really is, because you can make a huge momentum really quickly.
Oh, it's absolutely wonderful. So since you're saying that you can make huge momentum quickly, what are some things that someone could do? If I'm listening to this now and I've got that burning, yearning desire, and I'm like, I really do want to speak. I don't even know. I just feel like I can speak. I feel like I have a story that I can share. What is something someone could do, like within today or this next week, to really start that momentum?
So there's a couple of things that kind of has the progression bar, right? First, you need to start applying for the actual speaking gigs. Association, corporate industry conferences, TEDx, women's conferences, virtual events, radio shows, TV shows, all of those things you need to book now, because they usually book about 6 months to a year later. Mm-hmm. So that's why you apply now. You don't have to have anything ready. Just put the form in. Then you need to get connected and utilize other people's people. Meaning, you get connected to the amazing Miss Michelle here, right? Everyone's like, oh, Michelle, right? So you get connected to Michelle, and you get connected to people like me. Yeah. I've got 60,000 people on social media. So when I talk about you, right? I have you on my show. I have you in one of my virtual summits. I have you on blah, 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 right? Then because I'm promoting it to my list, those people start to follow you. So that's the quickest way to start beefing up and building a database, is to get to other people's lists so that they all love you, because now you have a trust factor. So those are the two things that usually people are like, well, I need to work on my website first. I need to do this. I need focus on marketing yourself, and all the other stuff can come later.
I love that. I love that you're actually having people engage with people, right? Because it's that the administrative work, and I've been guilty of it myself. It's busy work, and it gives you the sense of accomplishment, and you haven't done anything.
People are always like, how do I sell? Get someone to know who you are, you know?
I don't pick up a phone. Hello? Awesome. So, what do you, how do you find the speaking up? So that's one of the things that I have written down and I want to ask you, and which ties right to what you just said. Start looking at doing TED Talks, start looking at women's conferences. So, you know, I've never really spoken anywhere. I don't have, so let's go from ground zero. Let's just, so everyone else, anyone who hears this can build. So I've never spoken anywhere aside from maybe at my women's church group, or, you know, maybe in my class and an MBA presentation or undergraduate presentation, right? So, right. So I've never done anything that, how do I start? Where do I start applying?
Well, it's always good to start local, you know, because realistically, no one gets paid to speak anymore. So a lot of times people are like, I kind of need to start local then. Everybody is looking for speakers. I know it sounds crazy, but really they are. Churches often look for, you know, especially marriage, you know, groups and family groups. So there's all kinds of groups inside churches. There's the, you know, you've got all of the Lions Club and the Rotaries. They're desperate for speakers. Chambers are a little bit more pickier. A lot of times they'll want you to be a member. If it's your target audience, spend the money. Speaking is part of your marketing platform, by the way. So that's just part of your marketing budget. I know a lot of y'all are going, what budget? Yes, I know. That's a different talk. So, so then we've got, you know, look at Meetup, right? Just start messaging people, the groups that fit you and your business. Message them, say, hey, I would love to come into your group and talk about blankety blank, right? You'll get a lot of people who don't ever answer. You'll get some people that, no thanks. But what if you get a couple? Oh. And the number one thing that you can do is not say, and I hate these words, I'm not ready. I'm not ready. Oh, well, if they say yes, what am I going to talk about? I'm like, I have never known anyone that I couldn't ask them, what do you do? And they couldn't talk for an hour about what they do, what they love, what they, you know. Let it slough off and don't think it's about perfection.
Yes.
Get over the, that's why the Public Speaker Association, we have two rules. You have to be nice, no mean grumpy negative people, because who wants that? And then the other part is not being perfect, because people don't want perfection anymore. They don't want the gurus. They want real people, just like everyone listening right now. They want real people that they love. So let them love on you a little bit, and guess what? That turns into actual sales.
Yes. Yes, yes. So having said that, one of the things you did point out, and this is the National Association of Sales Professionals, and what we do is empower people to have a better conversation and translate those conversations into actual clients. So when you're not being paid, because there's not a lot of stipend out there, and when you're starting out, the chances of being paid are slim to none. How do I acquire? How does this become something that I can generate income from?
Love that. So this is what I always get, because people are like, I want the keynote spot. They're going to pay me $2,500. They're going to pay me $5,000. Okay, one person at that event, maybe two keynoters, versus 60 to 100 other speakers who do workshops. So this is what I don't quite get. So let's just look at numbers, everyone. Keynote, yes, you get to be in front of everyone, but it's usually motivational. It really doesn't translate into hardcore dollars at the end of the day. A workshop, so you're lined up against maybe 6, 10, 12 other workshops. What does that mean? Oh my gosh, the people who come to your room actually want to know what you're talking about. It's the best filtration system ever. So they come in, they are already eating you up because they are interested in what you're speaking about. And then it's just up to you to make them go, wow, she does really know what she's talking about, or he knows what he's talking about. Then, because you can't sell at those events, all right, so most events you cannot pitch at, then it's called lead generation. So I do lead generation all the time. Like I just came back, I've got like a stack on my table. So I do little contests, and literally, like, this person checked off, they want traffic to their website, they want to talk about me coming in and do trainings for their organization, they want to be a speaker, they want to come to my London event. Boom, 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 all their information. I got to know who wants to actually buy from me. I mean,
she's like, it's not rocket science, people.
It really is.
But again, and if we wrap this in a bow, that is exactly what the Public Speakers Association is about. It's about helping people who have a desire or have a gift or have a story, which we all have learned from Tonya. We all have a story, how to take that and monetize it, how to take it so that you can actually live a life that you're enjoying by sharing something that you love. Like when you get to share a story, especially if it's something that challenged you and now you're doing well at it, or it's an area where you're really particularly proud of, that you've been able to achieve something so you can help other people. It's a beautiful space to be in, to share it. People think that, well, who's going to want to hear the story? Am I going to run out? And I can't remember what speaker said it, but there's like 7.5 billion people on the planet. You could say the same, you can make one signature speech and say it the rest of your life and never run out.
Oh yeah, and the reality is you just need to know 10% more than the other people in the audience, which is not hard to do. 10%. And they're like, wow, she's amazing. Okay, so you can talk about whatever, get over it, just do a little research, and boom, you've got something to talk about.
Right. Take some time and get to know your craft, and you'll be amazing, basically. Right. So we're at 2:20. We're at 20 after. So I like to wrap this up. What is the one thing that you would, the number one thing you would want people to know to how to start or to get on that speaking path? Like if they could take that away and just remember one thing from this conversation, what would that be?
Don't stop and wait. Just go do. Stop with the I'm not ready, because you'll never be ready. You'll always have an opportunity if you just go and say yes. And a lot of that is just by connecting and getting a conversation going.
Ah, that's absolutely, I love that. Yes, because you'll never be ready, right? Because it's all in theory. It's a hypothesis when it's in our head. Until you actually put action behind it, you're making it up, right? So I love that. You're never actually ready. So yes, Tonya, thank you so much for your time. Thank you for sharing the wisdom and the benefits of the Public Speakers Association. I am going to get a link to Tonya, and because these videos will have access. If you watching this on record, actually look below and you'll see a link to get in touch with Tonya, as well as to look at the National Association of Sales Professionals. We are an association and we offer an amazingly robust free membership. And one of the things I like to tell people is right now, for a limited time, for anyone who joins, you have the opportunity to have a complimentary coaching call. We don't even know how much longer we're going to be able to do that because we're growing fast, but take the moment, look for that, and look for this, the next conversation next Monday, 1 p.m. Central Standard Time with me, Michelle Baker, Sales Success Advisor, part of the National Association of Sales Professionals. And thank you for watching Women of Sales and Influence. Tonya, stay with me. Everybody, we're logging off, and thank you for watching.
Yay!
Yay! So I'm just going to, everybody's watching me figure out how to, there we go. Stop. Stop being live, right? Okay, now I'm gonna stop the recording.